Hey everyone, you're welcome to the Gambia, my next country in West Africa. I'm currently on my balcony and I have like this amazing view. This is a major highway here. This is the way that I used from Banjul. That is the country's capital. I came through here. So this is a major highway that probably leads to other cities. Very busy road, but it makes for a good view. I like it. So this area is full of hotels, but I think most of them are in this road. But anyway, we are here. We came here. All of you joined me on the trip. So we got here 2 days ago. So I've been here for 2 days already, and I just have not picked up my camera since I got here. I've been trying to just really enjoy the place. And trust me when I say I have really enjoyed it. You have a different experience with people, with the locals, and people in general you meet when you don't have a camera pointing at their face, or when you don't have a camera, so they're like, okay, they're free to speak with you and all of that. So when I got here to the Gambia, I just thought, Jackie, enjoy this, enjoy this, okay? So this is the first time I am picking up my camera. So I'm just gonna tell you a little bit of what I've experienced so far since I have been here, because boy, oh boy, I have a lot to say. So we're gonna start with how I got here. It's a little bit warm out here and noisy, most especially noisy. So let us go into the bedroom. Let me sit down and just give you, the backstory, how we got to this point. If you're new here, my name is Jackie. You're welcome to the channel. I am currently on a West African tour. I'm from Nigeria and currently traveling West Africa. I have been through Benin Republic, Togo. First stop was Ghana, and then from Ghana I went to Ivory Coast. From Ivory Coast we went to Senegal. From Senegal we went to Cape Verde, came back to Senegal, and then now we are in the Gambia. So we traveled the world, but this is just the West African tour. We have gone to some countries in Asia already, and we still have some more to conquer in Asia and the rest of the world. So you're welcome to the channel. If you like vlogs from around the world, then please do subscribe to the channel. It's good to have you on the channel. So let us go in, let's talk. Before we get into it, let me just put it out there that the Gambia is the best country I have been in this tour so far. And what makes it the best is not that it's the most technologically advanced or the most developed or any of that. It's simply because of the people. The people here in Gambia are the most hospitable. Like, they just have like pure hearts, sweet spirits, so welcoming. And apart from welcoming, because you can't exactly tell that, oh, this is a foreigner you're talking to, because we all look alike, but the way everybody is, everybody I come in contact with, well, they may be able to tell I'm a foreigner, but everyone I've come in contact with has been super nice, kind, helpful. Oh, I just love the people. The only country that I've been to before now where I could really talk about the people, where the people really made an impression, is the Philippines. So the Gambia, the people here in the Gambia are just like the people in the Philippines. They just leave that impression on you. I tell you the truth, I have really enjoyed my time here. And I always tell people that the first thing that makes a place is the people. The people you experience in a place is what is going to form your entire opinion about that place. Like, it's gonna like set the tone for the experience you even have in that country. And I must tell you that the people of Gambia have been the best, right from the taxi driver that picked me up from the park to bring me to my hotel. He exhibited so much patience, so much kindness. When he picked me up, I told him where I was going to, and I did mention I was going to Kololi. Yeah, Kololi is, I may not be pronouncing it well. It's a popular tourist destination here in the Gambia. So the capital is Banjul, and that is where I arrived. I didn't want to stay in the capital city because of the experience I had in Cape Verde. When I went to Cape Verde, I didn't go to the capital city at all. I just went to a tourist city, Santa Maria in Sal Island. So I had such an amazing experience in Sal because I'm a big city girl. So any country I want to go to, I always make sure I go to like the biggest city. Well, incidentally, I'm actually in the biggest city, but we'll get there. So when I had that experience in Cape Verde, so when I was coming to the Gambia, I thought of looking for where tourists love to come. And when I did my research, it was this place, yeah. And how I even knew it was this place was from when I was booking my hotel. You know, I read all the reviews. I saw that most people were coming to this area, especially this hotel. This hotel had like the best reviews on Agoda. So I was like, okay, let's come here because it's a tourist, spot right in the country. So I told him I was coming to Kololi, and because that is what I saw when I was checking where the hotel was and all of that. So when we left the park, I looked at the booking again, and it said Senegambia Road, Serenkuda, is it? Let me see. Yeah, so it said Senegambia Road, Kokoli, in the email I received. But then when we left the park, I checked again. I think it was another email, and I saw Senegambia Road, Serenkuda or something. I can't even find it right now. So I was like, there was a bit of a confusion there. I was like, no, we're not going to Kololi. No, we're not going to Senegambia. We're going to Senegambia Road So it was a bit confusing. And he was telling me there are no hotels in Serekunda. I think it's Serekunda because I said it a lot, so I should remember. So he said there were no hotels there. So it was a bit of a confusion because it sounded to him like where I'm going to, tourists don't go there. And me, I was like, that is the address sort of thing. So it took a while. I was like, okay, let's check Google. Let's check maps. My internet was not working. The SIM card I got would work for like 2 minutes or even 1 minute. It would just open a web page. You're like, oh, it's working. And it ends there. It doesn't work anymore. So it was very difficult for me to use. The name is AfriCell. So you may want to try something else when you're coming. Don't buy AfriCell. Ooh. Well, that's my experience. Not like don't buy, but that's the experience I had with them. Anyway, so since my internet was not working, I wanted to use his own. He didn't have data. He had to now go and buy. So he went and bought data. We checked everything. We was like, okay, let's just use the maps to get there. We even tried to call the hotel. They didn't pick up because he wanted to like speak with them so they could tell him exactly where the place is. We called and called. They didn't pick up. So I was like, okay, let's just use Google Maps to get there. Yeah. So I also wanted to use my phone as well because I just wanted to use my phone. I love being online. So I asked him to share his data with me, and he was more than happy to do that. He was like, he doesn't know how to do it, but take the phone, do it. So I got his phone and I did everything. I was using his data all the way till we got here. He didn't have any issues with that at all. And he was so patient throughout the whole process. We're like, he doesn't know the place, but he was like so willing to find out the place, and time was going. We're just parked for so long trying to figure it out, trying to call the hotel. And that whole experience with him was really, really friendly, very kind, very patient. His wife even called him at some point, and he had to like send her a voice message, in their language. I don't know what he was saying, but it was just really calm and pleasant the whole time till he brought me here, So I really had like a very good introduction to the people of Gambia. So when we got here, well, we'll get there. Let's go back to Dakar. So the Gambia is bordered by Senegal. It's a country that is completely bordered by Senegal, and a little bit of it is the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. So you can fly in from Dakar to Banjul, but I decided not to fly because the road trip was short. I've done longer road trips, like the one I did from Ghana to Ivory Coast, the longest road trip of my life. So when I checked the hours for Dakar to Banjul, it was 7+ hours. So I was like, let's go, And I'm gonna get to see other cities in Dakar, other cities in Banjul. Road trips just make you to see things. So I was like, let's use a road trip to Banjul. So before I started the West African tour, I tried to check out the places where I would go by road, the places where I'll fly. So Dakar to Gambia was a bit disturbing because they said I needed to use a ferry. Yeah. So I was like, so I left that bit of the trip unbooked yet because I was like really trying to come to terms with using a ferry at some point and flying. So I just kept it open. I didn't buy a ticket. I just kept that open so I could decide what to do. And then all the research I did online, all the reviews on Reddit, everywhere, people kept saying how the bus trip down here was a bit hectic. They had to use a bus, get to the border. No, I think a little bit after the border, then get on the ferry, come out to the land the other way, take another bus into Banjul. You know, it was really hectic. People had a lot of complaints. Some were saying you can use a bus that would just take you all the way. The bus will enter the ferry and then bring you here. So it was just a bit chaotic. So I was like, okay, let me decide if I'm going to do that or not. So I spoke with a friend of mine I met in Ghana, and she told me she has done that trip from Dakar to Banjul, and she didn't need to use the ferry, that the road is good. So I asked her, when did you come? She said it was last year. I was like, oh, okay, so that's new information. So I was happy about that I don't need to use the ferry anymore, yeah? But I still went online. I went on YouTube, I watched videos. Nobody seemed to know about the route that does not include the ferry ride. Everybody used the ferry. There's so many YouTube videos about that, people coming from Dakar to Banjul. So I just really still kept it open until the day I was leaving Cape Verde. I was like, let me check again. And then I saw a video on YouTube that said they did not use the ferry, that it was a bus trip, they didn't use the ferry, but it was 13 hours. That is what the person said. I was like, oh my goodness, 13 hours. But anyway, I've done 13 hours already from Ghana to Ivory Coast. How bad can it be? So I decided to use the same bus that the person used in that video, which is the Ghana Transport Service Company or something, GTSE. GTSC, yeah? So when I arrived in Dakar, that same morning, I went to get my ticket for my trip to Banjul. So on the morning of the trip, the bus was for 8 o'clock. And we left kind of on time, like maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes after 8 is when our bus set out to come to Banjul. I have clips here and there I'll just be putting on the screen so you can just see how it was. I just really want to explain how I got here, because I know many people need that information, because I know how much other people's videos helped me all through my West African tour. So I also want my videos to help others as well. So we set out by 8:03. And it was a very smooth journey, very fast, very like super smooth and fast. And we got to the border, that's Senegal Gambia border, and that was like the smoothest, fastest, easiest border crossing ever. It just took like 1 minute. You stamp your passport at the Senegal side, then you just stroll a little bit to the Gambia side and stamp it as well, and you move on and join the bus back, and then we left. So all of that was really smooth and very fast. Yeah, so we got into Gambia, we're driving, and then the driver goes off the road and then parks the bus somewhere, and he's like, oh, we need to wait for 1.5 hours for the ferry to arrive. I even left something out. When I got to the bus station, the first to buy my ticket, so I got to the bus, there was a man at the bus who looked like a driver. So I asked him that, is this bus gonna use the ferry? And he said no, that they're not using the ferry, that the ferry takes time, that they're not gonna use the ferry, that they're just gonna drive through. I said, okay, what time are we gonna get there? He said we leave by 8. They have a bus by 8 a.m., they have 11 a.m., and they have 2 p.m., yeah? Or 8, 10, 1, something like that, but just a few hours, 3 buses every day anyway. So I took the 8 a.m. So he said if I take the 8 a.m. bus, I'm going to arrive Banjul like between 2 to 4 p.m. depending on how there's traffic on the road. But he did say we are not using the ferry. So I said, okay, that's great. Where do I buy a ticket? He said, go to the office. So I went to the office to buy the ticket. When we got there again, I asked the cashier, are we going to use the ferry? She said, no, we're not using the ferry. I said, what time are we going to arrive? She said, by 2 o'clock, you should be in Banjul, or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Everyone just said it was between 2 to 4 that would arrive Banjul if I take the 8 o'clock bus. But both of them said no ferry, right? And remember the video I watched, the lady that posted it said they didn't use the ferry. So I was so happy about not using the ferry. So hearing that we are now using the ferry, I was like, I was really surprised, shocked and everything, because I thought that all my efforts to boycott the ferry crossing, I was successful with that. So it was a bit disappointing to now have to use a ferry. And because we even had to come and wait 1.5 hours for the ferry to even arrive for us to go. But anyway, we were free to go down, buy stuff. So I just came down for a bit and just saw the people that were selling things around there. I bought something. So we're currently waiting for the ferry. We have 1 hour, 30 minutes to chill here. So I want to check what we have here. We are in the Gambia already. So I just want to see what is around here. So I can just buy things here. Went back to the bus to just chill. So I think in about 1.5 hours, we drove into the ferry. And we didn't have to come down from the bus. The bus drove onto the ferry with us in the bus, yeah? And so we just stayed in our seats all through the ferry ride. The ferry ride was like almost an hour. Very, very smooth. I didn't even know when we had left. Because I was like, have we moved? Have we not? Because on both sides of the bus, there were other buses or containers, you know, that were blocking us. So I couldn't even see anything. I could just see the front. And I kept looking at the front. Are we moving? Are we not moving? I couldn't tell. It was such a very smooth ferry ride. You couldn't even tell if you're moving or not. Obviously, because it was so heavy, so many people and so many cars on the ferry. So anyway, at some point, they started feeling us moving. We were like, okay, yeah, now we're moving. So we arrived. We just drove off from the ferry. It was so convenient. The ferry ride is not bad at all. When we left the ferry, we just drove like, I think an hour or thereabout, and we got to GTSC bus station in Banjul. So from there, I took a taxi down to Kololi, where I am. So I got to the hotel to check in. And when I got here, the reception told me they couldn't find my booking on their system. First time it ever happened to me. But they were able to resolve it real fast. You know, they kept apologizing every 2 seconds that they'll soon be done, 2 minutes. And they were really fast about it. The manager came, he asked for my details. I told him he was talking to someone on the phone to confirm all of that. So he was like, okay. He told me how many nights I paid for, and you know how much it was. I confirmed that yes, that's my booking. So they did the booking for me, and then I had booked an extra night actually in error because of the way my flight is. So they just deducted one night and I paid the rest. They were so helpful. They were willing to collect any currency I had. While I was checking in, there were a group of Nigerian ladies that also came to stay in the hotel, and they paid with Sefa. I think they had Sefa because they were also coming from Senegal as well. So I checked in, then I went out to get dinner. It was like super amazing. From there, I didn't record anything. Everywhere I go to, people are so friendly, and sometimes I have to like look at them. I'm like, do I know you? Because the way they approach me, like, hey, how are you? How is the family? How are you doing? You know how someone is talking to you and they really need a response? Like, most times people just say, how are you? And like, but they're like really interested. They're looking you in the eyes and, just giving you that vibe like they're interested in what they're asking you. So many times when I first got here, I'll have to like think, do they know me? Do I know you? To really know if they know me, on that level. After a while, I just knew that this is how these people are. The light has gone off. After having that experience with a number of people, I just realized this is how these people are. They are just really concerned and, very hospitable. I've gone to 2 restaurants here and both of them were like absolutely amazing. The second restaurant I went to yesterday, he was like, so when I asked for something, he said he wanted to go and confirm from the chef if they have it. So on his way back to me, he was coming from my back. And so he was walking towards me and I was hearing, sweetheart, sweetheart, sweetheart. I was like, could that be me? He's calling? No, it can't be me. How often does, someone in a restaurant call a customer sweetheart? So he gets to me and he's like, sweetheart, it's not available. And I'm just looking at him like, I was just smiling like, oh my goodness, these people. So that's how they are, like so free with people. And then there are so many foreigners living here. And when I say foreigners, I don't even mean other Africans, because obviously you can't even tell who is a Gambian and who is not. We look alike. So I want to talk about the Europeans, yeah? Europeans are very much present in West Africa. I've come to realize, most of the West African countries, in fact, all of the West African countries were colonized by European countries. Yeah, Nigeria was Britain, Ghana, Britain, Togo, Benin, Senegal, Ivory Coast were all France, Cape Verde, Portugal, the Gambia, Britain. Yeah, which other country have we been to? I think that's all. This my West African tour has really opened my eyes to see how much European presence we still have right here in West Africa. Like they live here. Not only do they come for vacation, like they come here for vacation a lot, but they also live here. I saw many of them living in Sal, in Cape Verde. I saw them in Côte d'Ivoire. I think they were even the most in Côte d'Ivoire, apart from Sal, which obviously is a tourist destination. I think I saw the most Europeans and a lot of Chinese people in Ivory Coast as well. Chinese were quite a lot in Ivory Coast. And in Senegal too, those two countries. So yeah, so many foreigners are living in these countries, and I never would have known if I had never visited these countries. So the foreigners living here in the Gambia are quite different. They have integrated, like they have so integrated with the locals. Other countries where you go to where foreigners are living, it's always like a community of expats. Foreigners are just in their corner. You just see them on their tables, just eating alone and all of that. But here in the Gambia, you see them with Gambians. They are standing with Gambians. They are talking. They are sitting with Gambians. They are having, a meal. So they've so integrated here in Gambia, and I'm not even surprised at all because the people of Gambia are like the friendliest people I have met. Nigerians are friendly, hospitable, and all of that. But I tell you the truth, the people of Gambia, they've made quite the impression. So they have really, really integrated with Gambians, and it's really a lovely sight to see because every time I step out, I see that, very lovely sights to see. So power is back. So when I saw the way Gambians were, they are just so different, so friendly and kind, hospitable. I had to do a little research I was like, who are these people? Because I didn't know much about Gambia. Tell you the truth, I don't know much about Gambia, right? At least every other country I went to, I knew a lot about them, but Gambia, I knew nothing about the Gambia. So I had to do a little bit of research about the people here. First of all, they are called the Smiling Coast of Africa. And I discovered that Gambians are known for their welcoming nature. 10% battery remaining, I need to be fast. So they are known for their welcoming nature, like it's part and parcel of their culture, the warmness, hospitality, and all of that. Like it's a very big deal for them. They even have a word for it. It's called teranga. So the Gambians are really known for their culture of hospitality, and I never knew that. So being here, I can tell you that for real, Gambians are so hospitable. So they tie with Filipinos. I live in the Philippines, and I can tell you for free that Filipinos are one of the most hospitable people in the world. So Gambians and Filipinos have that in common. So I'm really glad I came here, super, super glad I came here. This my West African tour has changed me a lot. So every country I go to, I pick up something. Every country I go to, I pick up something. So it's really been quite the experience. So if you're planning to come to West Africa, add Gambia to your list. Gambia may not be the most beautiful country, developed skyscrapers, but you're going to have a very lovely time here because you really need to experience the people of Gambia. So I'm inviting you to Gambia. Come experience the people here. I will be back to Gambia just to have that. So let me end it here. I've been talking for quite a bit. My battery is also low. I don't want to go through the charging or changing battery. Let's just leave it at that. We're going to have another video where we're going to talk more and see more. I'm going to take you out to see Gambia. Okay, so this is not going to be the only Gambia vlog. Hopefully it's not going to rain so I can go out. Let's go see Gambia a little bit. All right, so see you in the next vlog. Thanks for watching.